Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. Ma'am Simban. I am Jazz Campilan Manyosa and I am going to tackle about botany of corn. So the scientific name of corn is Zeyamais. Corn is also known as open pollinated, which means that the plant will produce seeds naturally. When these seeds are planted, they will reliably reproduce the same plant as the parent. So, the transgenic types of corn is herbicide, insecticide, and others are coming. So, what are the corn utilizations? Number one is animal feed. Corn is one of the most important staple crops in the Philippines. It ranks second to rice in the utilization of agricultural resources. It is used not only for human consumption but also for animal feeds. High fructose corn syrup may be soon to be number one or number two ethanol. Others can be starch, corn oil, and hybrid seed. Corn production hybrid selection. First, you need to look at experiment station yield trials. Second, check the maturity of the plant, whether they planted it early or mid-late. Third, check the cost of it, if it is expensive or not, and check the availability of seed. Also, for the last, check if the corn is disease resistant. So, corn production planting. Some of the farmers said it is better to plant early, like late March to late April. Why? It is reduced late season insect pressure. So, corn production planting. Catch some of the farmers said avoid late summer heat. It is better to plant for early, higher yields, March less to late input cost. Why? It is reduced late season insect pressure. Second, catch early rains. Third, avoid late summer heat. Fourth, higher yields, less input cost. Corn production fertility. First, you need to have your soil test. It is better for you to know what is the missing nutrients in your soil. Second, practice crop rotation. Crop rotation is key for farmers to practice crop rotation as part of a strategy to increase crop yield. Planting an alternating crop helps diversify the demands placed on your soil. Crop rotation results in crops that yield more and consistently produce. So be sure to limit corn over corn planting in your fields. Second, know the yield potential. So what is this know the yield potential? Develop proper expectations for your crop yield by knowing your farm's yield potential. When assessing yield potential, it's critical to your budget that you have a clear understanding of the kind of crops you're planting and the kinds of seeds you're using. Having a firm grasp on this information will help you set and manage your expectations as well as reveal whether your crop yield potential matches your actual production. Fourth, always scout your fields. Get to know your land well by always scouting your fields. You want to be on the lookout for any weeds, insects, disease, and birds that may pose problems with your crop yield. Fifth, utilize fertilizers. So using fertilizers in your cornfields during seeding can help give the seeds essential nutrients such as calcium, phosphorus, and potassium. Remember that the root zone located at the base of your crops is the most critical area to facilitate growth so your crop can flourish, delivering a satisfying yield. 6. Test 6. Use herbicides to tackle weeds. Another way to help increase crop yield is to use a variety of herbicides to manage Roundup-resistant weeds. Non-selective herbicides designed to kill all vegetation are flavored on many farms, and use of multiple selective and or non-selective herbicides is recommended to manage these Roundup-resistant weeds. Next, planting depth and row spacing. Planting depth and row spacing are important factors to consider in trying to increase your corn crop yield. Planting depth is recommended to be between 1 and 1/2 and 2 inches but no shallower. Even planting depth with no seed bands is critical to achieve high yields. Uneven emergence can create inconsistent competition between plants that continues throughout the growing year. Last is the fungicide applications. Some hybrid seeds in specific kinds of growing conditions generally benefit from one or even two fungicides applications to help farmers keep their plants growing strong and healthy. With fungicide application, timing is critical. Farmers tend to have a 10 to 14-day window to work with when it comes to applying fungicides. Corn production insects. So, we have the soil insects. You need to know your field history. Second, you need to put insecticides in the furrow or over the top of your corn. Corn production insects. Foliar insects, you need to plant early. Crop monitoring. Insecticides only when needed. Rare BT transgenics, corn borers, earworms, and armyworms. Corn production disease managed by good agroeconomic practices, fungicide, seed treatments, and variety resistance. Fungicides are rarely used or needed. So, corn production weeds. Conventional hybrids. You need to have a pre-emergence herbicides, post-emergence herbicides if needed, cultivation at side dress. Transgenic are all glyphosate plus press. Corn production harvesting. You need to use corn picker, 19 to 22% moisture, dried down to 15%, and then you need to store it. That's all. Thank you.